pizza shop and the Indian convenience store, the Indian store down a few doors down, they both got it at the same time. And new people started popping up. And I remember one of them being this tall, light-skinned dude. And I remember seeing him from over the hill in the projects a lot. I used to always see him in the projects. He was hanging out with people his age. But he would always play Street Fighter in the Indian store, though. He never really came to the pizza shop. He would pop up in there once in a while, but it's like he liked playing the computer. And since nobody went into the pizza shop, since nobody went into the Indian store, he would play in there all the time. So he's playing in there. And I go in there and I'm watching him, and he uses Guile. And I remember thinking, who this nigga doing? What he doing in my neighborhood? He trying to sneak up in here. The pizza shop is crowded, and this nigga think he gonna sneak up in this Indian store right here and get some free games in my territory. No, I put my cord in, went straight to Ken. Round 1, got this nigga in the corner, threw his ass. Now, when you reverse the throw, I'm quite sure that it said reverse. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I'm pulling it out of my ass, but in World Warrior there was no reversing and there was no tech throwing. It was whoever threw, your ass got thrown. But I don't know. I'm thinking you could reverse a throw in Champion Edition. I think if you went for a throw and I don't know. I just remember getting him in the corner, 2 low shorts, throw. 2 low shorts, throw. I did that the last round and he died. And I won the game. And he was like, oh, you cheesing. And I'm like, oh, here we go, cheesing. This nigga's he's from across town, so when you throw him twice, he calls it cheating. He calls it cheesing. So he put a cord in and he was like, try it again. And I remember he backed himself up into the corner. Which it wasn't that hard because he's using Guile, and a lot of Guiles basically just hold back or down back, but he was holding back, and he got in the corner again, and I tried to do it. I down short him twice, and then he chucked me into the corner, and he fucking threw me for the rest of that round, got me in the corner the second round, and threw me for the rest of that round. And he was like, you can't reverse. And I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, man, put another cord in because my pride, pride is on the line. And the nigga did it again. Got me in the corner, threw me for the whole first round. And I tried my best to stay out the corner the second round, but this nigga wasn't even attacking me. He was just walking me into certain spots. And if he did attack me, he would attack me with something once and then would walk me into the fucking corner again and threw me. And he did what I did. He did the low short twice, or he did a crouching jab twice and threw me. And I'm like, and I'm mashing trying to reverse, but I don't know how. And I'm walking into punches and shit, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? I can't. And he was like, yeah, how it feel? And I'm like, and he told me, he was like, you know what? You good, but when you get flustered, everything falls apart, which is true. When I get flustered, I get into flowchart mode, and I start just collapsing. My game plan and everything just out the window, and I start panicking. And that's when it don't matter if your opponent has a full life bar and you have a pixel, a sliver of health left. You should not panic. But I could not help it, man. It's just like, oh, I'm losing. And the thing is, I start panicking if I have half life. Once my life bar is 50% gone, I start worrying like, all right, it's all about making sure his life bar is lower than mine. And I start keeping an eye on the opponent's life bar all the time, like, cause mine's is half gone. I have half health left, and he has 75% or 80%. I'm like, shit, I gotta get him down to 40 or 30 because I only have 50. I want him below me. And whatever. Basically, that dude was giving me tips on how to stay out of that mode where I panic, and he was trying to teach me how to help me with my reversing game, let me know how to reverse throws and shit like that, and that strengthened my game some more. And that was nice, because that's what I really had a problem with. When niggas threw me, and then they would go for the crouch jab, crouch short, one of those, and try to throw again, my timing would be off. So whatever. I'll go back to the pizza shop with a new skill, with a new lease on my Street Fighter life, and I remember something going down. I don't know what the fuck happened, because I was gone, but this tall dude with an afro was getting fucked up outside, man. I mean, fucked up. They was banging this. They fucked it. I don't know what he did. I just remember leaving the Indian store and walking back to the pizza shop, and I just seen niggas stomping them on the ground, and some of them are my friends, and some of them are older people that I don't really know, but they pop up from time to time. Like, they were familiar faces, and I would associate with them. I would talk with them once in a while, but we never really exchanged names and shit. It's funny how that works. In the arcade, you didn't really know people's names. Like, you knew your close friends' names, but a lot of other people, you just know that's that guy that plays Blanca all the time. That's that guy that plays Geef all the time. Like, a lot of names you really didn't know, but you knew each other, and when you seen each other in the street, you nodded to each other. It wasn't like, yo, Eric, what up? Or yo, Peter, what's good? It was just always, hey, yo, what up, man? Yo, that's that dude that played Blanca right there. Oh, yo, he's the guy who has a good Geef, yo. That's him. It's funny how that worked, but they was stomping this nigga out, man. Just stomping a mud hole in this nigga's face. And it was funny. One thing I found funny was, and the dude that they fucking up is mad big. He mad big. Like, he's not big, but he's tall, dark-skinned nigga. And he looked intimidating. We all 5 foot nothings, and this nigga's like 6 something. And just, they clobbering the shit out of him, and it was happening there at payphone. I remember somebody taking the payphone off the hook and beating this nigga with the receiver, just bong, bong in the head. And this nigga had lumps. By the time they were done, he had lumps. And I walked in the pizza shop. I remember when that happened, Gino came outside and was like, hey, stop. And nobody listened to him. And he just walked back inside. And the shit was going down. The niggas lumped him up so bad. And you ever see a nigga get hit? And when he get hit, the lump grows immediately. Like, it doesn't swell up. It doesn't take time to swell up. It's like a cartoon fucking speed knot on his head. It's just, you get hit, blow, blue. It actually just grow out like a fucking Pinocchio nose on his forehead. A wide Pinocchio nose. Like a black, if there was a black Pinocchio and his nose grew, it would look like that. That nigga's forehead had knots. His eye was shut. That nigga was bleeding in his mouth. His clothes was all dirty from being on the ground. And we walked inside, and Gino wouldn't let the other ones that did that to him. Gino said, no, leave. I don't want, just in case somebody, because this is a major street too. This is not like no pizza shop on some quiet street. This is the main area. Like I said, this was a strip. The strip was perpendicular from my block. So it's a lot of traffic driving by, seeing this happen. And Gino told the dudes who was involved, he's like, yo, don't, just go home for the day. Go home. I don't want to be involved and have to answer questions and all of that. I can't lie if you're around. At least if you guys aren't around, I can lie. Gino, man, that guy he was fucking cool as shit. That shit happened to anybody else, we would all be banned. He would ban everything. He would probably get rid of the machine. But I think Gino knew that shit was bringing in that money though, because people, he had to make a whole pie to cut up like every 15 minutes, because niggas was just getting slices, man. Gino was making bank with us in there. Niggas buying fucking sodas and Snapples and shit all day. Niggas buying mad stuff from Gino's. But I was like, yo, what happened? Why niggas jumping? They like, this nigga fucking, there's like this switch. It was a main switch, and if you flicked it, it would cut off all the machines. And this nigga was getting beat in the middle of a Street Fighter match. So he just walks off and goes to that switch and he flicks it, and all the machines lined up, not just the Street Fighter ones. All the machines shut off. So people without playing whatever racing game or whatever beat 'em up or whatever other adventure arcade machine was around, whatever other arcade machines was in that store, they all went blank. Just bloop, blackout. And niggas went ham. Like you don't have one machine with, if you would have just shut off the Street Fighter machine, it would have been that one person pissed off, and they would have been like, yo, give me my fucking quarter, man. But no, you wanted to be an idiot and do that. And I guess he figured it's a bunch of little niggas in here. I guess he felt since he's 6'5", this nigga was tall. That's all I remember. He was probably not even 6'5". He's probably just 6 feet. But majority of the people in there weren't even past 5'5". So I guess he felt like ain't nobody gonna fuck with me. And he looked like the type of nigga to start trouble. Well, if he thought niggas wasn't gonna do nothing, he had another thing coming, because he left that area fucked up. Niggas was worried about him coming back too and starting stuff. Like, nobody knew nothing about where he was from and shit like that. So niggas didn't know, like, this nigga gonna pop up one day with bunch of niggas and fuck us all up. I always thought about repercussions, like, who is this dude and what is he willing to do to get his revenge? Because I've seen a lot of shit coming up, man, growing up. Late 80s, early 90s, I've seen a lot of shit, man. And that's when, like, nowadays the areas is cleaned up. I mean, you got places like Detroit that's fucked up, and there's a gutter everywhere. There's a corner, a filthy corner in every section of the world. In every state, in every town, there's a block that's just, you shouldn't walk past there at a certain time. But for the most part, New York as a whole was grimy back then. And niggas I just seen so much shit, man. Like, I remember Mischief Night before Halloween, Mischief Night, you had to stay inside, because if you weren't inside, you were getting jumped or you were getting egged. And I don't mean somebody would throw an egg at you. I mean, you would get covered in eggs if you was outside. I remember walking outside Halloween morning and you just seeing cars with bologna on it, because back then when you peeled the bologna off, like if somebody put bologna on your car and the bologna froze, if you peeled the bologna off, it would peel your paint off, and you would have a car with fucking spots with circles of paint missing because you peeled the bologna off and shit like that. And blockbusters, niggas would put blockbusters on windshields and shit and set and light them. And niggas just, you didn't really see many cars that didn't get touched. You had to have a garage if you didn't want your car to get fucked up back then. Nowadays, Mischief Night ain't shit. It ain't. People barely go trick-or-treating nowadays. I guess because of the whole terrorist thing, and you don't know, a bunch of creepy niggas putting shit in the candy and shit like that. But whatever, man. Back in the days it was crazy. So I'm thinking this dude gonna come back with niggas that's gonna fucking fold us up and throw us in the garbage and shit. But that didn't happen. That dude, I never seen him again. I never seen that dude again. He got lumped up for shutting off the switch, and he disappeared. I guess he couldn't live that down. No matter how big he is, a bunch of little niggas jumped his ass. But yeah. Then I'm getting nice. I'm doing my thing. Days is going by, weeks is going by, months is going by. And at this time, Damien, he rarely pops up anymore. When he do pop up, he's showing me some new shit. But I remember him telling me he plays somewhere else. And I was like, where? And he was like, he plays in a town